Welcome to part 4. We will look at some more questions on AZ900, that is Azure Cloud Fundamentals. So you're trying to implement a SaaS solution, software as a service. That means you don't have to install anything on your VM on cloud, but it is a software as a service. Just use it. So you are responsible for what in that case? Do you install the SaaS solution? Do you configure the SaaS solution? Do you define scalability rules? Do you configure high availability? See, your responsibility is only to configure the SaaS solution. The rest all are Azure cloud responsibilities. So you only have this responsibility. When we say configure, that means you will take care of settings, user accounts, permissions, and any other specific configurations. This might include setting up workflows, integrating with other systems, and so on. Now, what will the cloud provider do in this case? See, they would configure high availability. This is not your responsibility because you are not even managing the infrastructure. Azure does it. They would see whether their systems are scalable or not. They automatically scale based on demand. So as a consumer, you don't have to define any rules. As a consumer, you don't have to define any rules that if the threshold or the compute capacity crosses 80%, then you scale up. No, you don't even have that access to do that in SaaS solutions. Installing SaaS solutions, the SaaS solution is already installed, boss. It is running in the provider's environment, already installed and running. There is nothing called install SaaS solution. It is a very stupid answer. Okay, you are just accessing the SaaS solution which is already installed. You are accessing via internet or API call. So this would be our answer. Configuring the SaaS solution is your responsibility. See this next question. You have on-premises network and there are several servers. So on-premises you have this server 1, server 2, server 3, and so on. Now you're telling that I want to move this entire set of servers to Azure. So this is your Azure box. You are moving it here. So what? So you need to recommend a solution to ensure that some of the servers are available if a single data center fails. That means on Azure, you should put it in multiple data centers. This is DC1, this is DC2. So if a single data center fails, for example, if this fails, this is still up and vice versa. So what should you include in the recommendation? Is this a part of low latency? No, low latency is like Netflix. You are a lazy bum lying on your couch. You cannot see buffering happening. You want everything instantly. That is a use case for low latency. This is a use case of this is fault tolerance. That means like if you have two cars, if one car is off road due to some problem and mechanics are working on it, you still have the other car. That means your life is fault tolerant. You have two cars. Some communities have four wives. They are fault tolerant in terms of wives. Also, they have four wives. Uh, I mean, provisions are there. So, elasticity. What is elasticity? Elasticity is that scale. You can scale up when the load increases. This example is not a problem of elasticity. It is not a problem of scalability. Okay. So this is a problem of fault tolerance. That means system will continue to operate even if some components fail. For example, in aircraft, there are two engines. If one engine fails, still the plane will not crash. They will still land using the other engine. So that is called fault tolerance. Like your body, you have two kidneys. So you are fault tolerant in terms of kidneys. You have 2 ears, you have two eyes, you have two hands, you have two legs. Okay, but you are not fault tolerant in terms of heart, liver, some of those other organs, nose. You are not fault tolerant there. So this is the next one. There is an organization, okay, and it hosts its infrastructure dash no longer requires a data center. That means in which type of setup you yourself don't require a data center. See, once I was working for a project with RBI, okay, so there are own data centers. They were not using cloud. They have their own data centers for a great deal of use case and projects. Okay, so uh, now here they are saying I don't have data center. In which setup I don't have to use my data center. See, private cloud, you will have to use a data center, private cloud, because private cloud means within the client's data center, we are installing certain components. What are those components? Like, for example, Watson X.ai from IBM that you can install. Like Azure Copilot is also creating a version so that it can be installed on premises so that Barclays, Bank of America, all of these banking clients can work because they are not feeling very safe in going to cloud with customer data. Okay, any breach happens, they will lose their businesses and etc. So compliance is very important. They would be shut down if compliance breach has happening. So private cloud cannot be the answer. Hybrid cloud means hybrid. What does hybrid means? See, this is your on-premises and this is your Azure cloud. Hybrid means you are using both. So on-premises means by default on-premises means data centers. So that means you are not getting rid of your data centers. So hybrid cannot be an answer. And similarly, Hyper-V host. Hyper-V host is a virtualization technology from Microsoft. So you can host infrastructure on Hyper-V host. It is responsible for underlying hardware which resides in a data center. That means still this guy works on top of data center bus. So this cannot work, this cannot work, this cannot work. So only answer is public cloud. This is our answer. See, public cloud is like you are not owning your car. You are using Uber for any ride anywhere. So this is owned and operated by third party. Like what? Like Azure, like AWS, like GCP, Google Cloud. And the organization consumes resources from its provider's data center. That means your data center is not used. Simple. So you don't need your own data center because whose data center you are using now? The data center will still be used, but whose? Azure's, not your Azure's. See, car, you are still going by car, but not by your own car. You are going by somebody else's car. Whose car? Uber's car. You are going by that car. Okay, so what are the two characteristics of public cloud? Public cloud, what are the two characteristics? Are they giving dedicated hardware? No, it is a shared hardware. There may be on one hardware, two, three people, two, three different companies from two, three different companies are using it. So dedicated hardware is raw. Unsecured connections, no. Public cloud, like which are the two characteristics? So unsecured connection is not a characteristic. Secured connection can be a characteristic. Limited storage, no. You can virtually store unlimited stuff on your Azure blob storage, object storage. Same in AWS world, you do it on AWS S3. You have unlimited storage virtually because they will keep adding hardware, they will keep adding data centers. That way it can be unlimited. Horizontal scale up. So these hardwares they add, it can scale up horizontally, not vertically. So it can keep, I mean, it can scale up actually both the ways, horizontal, then vertical. Once that is squeezed up, then again they move horizontal, then vertical. So that's it. So we are left with two options. Metered pricing. Yes, it is metered like your cab. You pay on demand. Whatever you used, you pay for that. So this is correct. And self-service management. So this is also correct. See, with self-service, you you are provisioning and managing resources through web portals because in Azure also you use a web portal or you use CLI or you are using APIs. Okay, but you are not interacting with any Microsoft Azure stuff for basic operations. You're not going there and telling him, hey buddy, can you create uh, a path in Azure Blob Storage so that I can store files. It is self-service. You yourself go and create that path for yourself. These two are our answers in this case. Okay, so this next question, when you are planning to migrate a public website to Azure, so you already have some website which you have on premises. This is your website, like Amazon.com, and now you want to take it to a cloud environment from Azure. So you are planning to migrate. So you must plan to what? You must plan to deploy a VPN. So if you do that, see VPN, it is used to create a secured connection between on-premises and cloud. Since this is a public website, you don't need VPN. Public websites are accessed over internet, and way, Azure provides various ways to secure them, like HTTPS and firewalls and so on. So that's why this is wrong. So pay monthly cost, this is correct because once you are out and you are using Azure hardware, you will get monthly bills. So you pay for the resources such as website and etc. This you have to do. Okay. So this is there. And pay another thing is pay to transfer all website to Azure. So while there are some costs for large scale transfer, it is not the primary cost ever. And reduce the number of connection websites. This is not even a requirement. You likely want to maintain or even increase the number of connections to your website. So this is not a requirement. So our answer would be pay monthly cost, usage cost. This is our answer. This brings us to the end of part 4. We will post many more such parts. Stay tuned. Become a member. Cloud kernel member or cloud ninja member. You can take these two memberships. It will give you access to all of the paid content. For a very small premium, you can gain access to so many different portions on different certification, intermediate, entry level, advanced, whatever you want, it is there. So see you in the next part.